So how do you use this time wisely? What is the secret of time? Well, Jesus illustrated it in several different ways. Well, one of the ways he illustrated it was in the life of a farmer. That a farmer, when he can see ahead a great harvest, he can see the barns full of wheat. He can see in the wintertime he has plenty of food to feed his animals. He has plenty of crops stored up that he and his family will have plenty to eat. He sees that, but early in the spring, he has to start planting some seeds. Just having a vision is great, but it's not the complete package. You see the vision, but then you got to start planting some seeds.
Yes.
You have to prepare the ground. You have to plant seeds every day during the planting time, in order to get the harvest that you want to get. The problem with some people today, that their lives are in a mess, their family lives are in a mess, their financial lives are in a mess, their spiritual lives are in a mess, is because they have been planting the wrong seed. They have been planting negative thoughts in their minds that they can't do anything about it. They have been planting negative self-concepts that they are not of any value, they are not important. When God says that He loves you and He has great plans for you, and that this life is a preparation time for a great reunion with our family members and with Him in heaven. But He said you got to start by planting some seeds in your life every day. The Bible tells us about some seeds we can plant. But you don't want to plant the wrong seeds, because you'll get a harvest that you don't want.
That's right.
That harvest sometimes is difficult. If you are a mean person, I guarantee you one day people are going to be mean to you. If you're hateful and vindictive and full of vengeance, you will reap those same seeds one day. And it may be from your friends, it may be from your children, it may be from your grandchildren, but someday you will reap what you sow.
Amen.
That's a promise. That is a spiritual law.
Amen.
So it's very important for us to begin to plant the right seeds. Because, see, there's a time to plant, and then there's a time to harvest. Now, right now is our time to start planting. What are we going to plant? Well, in Colossians 3:13, it gives us some things to plant. How about tender mercies? Jesus said it, and even in the Old Testament, God said it in the book of Psalms, and Jesus said it too. In the New Testament, if you want to receive mercy, you need to be merciful.
Amen.
There's going to be a day when you need somebody to be merciful to you. But you need to be merciful now to those that need mercy. And again, Jesus was talking about people judging other people. That if somebody would come into the synagogue or into the church, we call it today, and they had on real nice clothes, they would invite them to come up and sit closer to the preacher. Those that were poor, they would send them over to an alternative service somewhere and let them, with their poor clothes, sit over with a secondary or third preacher instead of the regular church service. But he said, if you want to have mercy one day, you're going to need it, by the way. All of us need mercy. Every one of us in our life are going to make a big mistake one day, and we're going to need forgiveness. We're going to ask people to forgive us. We're going to ask the Lord to forgive us. But whether we reap that or we don't reap it depends on how we treat people now. How about planting some seeds of kindness? Just be kind. Jesus said, Peter said this. First Peter said, just be kind one to another. I mean, be respectful to each other. Be friendly to each other. Be kind to each other. Don't be hateful and mean to each other. Humility. Humility is not a weak characteristic. Jesus said, I am humble. Come and learn of me because I am humble and I'm meek. In other words, learn how to think about other people even before yourself. Think about how to be a person that cares about other people. Long-suffering and patient. God said plant seeds of patience because the harvest is a long ways away in many cases. So you have to continue. You just don't plant the seed and go back and sit on the couch. Okay? I mean, you plant the seed, you water it, you go out and you take your farm instruments and you plow it up, you pull the weeds out, and you take care of it on a daily basis. That's the way life is. You don't just say, okay, I'm going to be kind today and then I'm not going to do anything else for the next, 364 days. Well, yeah, I went to church on Easter and I went to church on Christmas. Really. And how much did that do for you? How many people did you bless with your attendance? How much work did you accomplish for God by being in church on Sunday morning, Christmas, and Sunday morning on Easter? And then he goes on and he says, you want to plant some more seed? He said, how about forgiving one another? It says, if anyone has been hurt by another, even as Christ has forgiven you, you must do also. Forgiveness is something that is supernatural, but it's not about you doing something for somebody else. It's about you doing something for yourself. When I forgive you, I've done myself a favor.
Yes.
I might not have done you any favor. You can take my forgiveness or you can leave my forgiveness. Whatever you want to do. You can be angry with me and I say I'm sorry and I'm asking you to forgive me and I'm forgiving you for making me angry. But whether you take it or you leave it, I've done what the Lord has told me to do.
Amen.
And I'm going to enjoy my life.
Amen.
And if you want to sit around and be angry, that's planting the wrong seed. And don't judge your harvest by what you see somebody else reaping or whatever you see somebody else sowing. Your harvest is different. You go through farmlands, go through South Georgia, you go in other areas. Some people plant soybeans, some plant tomatoes, some plant corn, and it's not wise or it's not even makes any sense for the person that plants corn to go out and criticizing the person that's planting soybeans. Well, I planted corn and you should plant corn too. Oh, really? I got more money for my soybeans than you got for your corn. So we have to be careful about judging other people about what they plant and what they don't plant. And by the way, you have no control over what anybody else does in life.
Right.
I can say, well, so-and-so is not nice, so I'm not going to be nice either. Really? Is that doing you any good by following their attitude and their actions? Why don't you be a Christian and be better than they are and have a different harvest than that they're going to have?